Part 1. The power of consistency. Consistency is the single most important factor separating people who dream from people who achieve. Talent, intelligence, or motivation alone are never enough. Many people have brilliant ideas, skills, or ambitions, but without the habit of showing up daily, their potential never turns into results. The truth is, success does not come from occasional effort or bursts of inspiration. It comes from consistent action over time. Every small step, repeated with focus and persistence, compounds into extraordinary results. Think about it. Motivation is fleeting. Some days you feel energetic, inspired, and ready to work on your goals. Other days you feel tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. If you rely on motivation alone, your progress will be unpredictable. Consistency removes that dependency. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect day, or the perfect opportunity. Consistency is about showing up, regardless of how you feel. It is about committing to a process, even when it feels challenging or mundane. Consistency also builds momentum. When you take daily actions toward your goals, no matter how small, you create a ripple effect. Each effort stacks on top of the previous one. Habits are formed, skills are sharpened, and confidence grows. Momentum is invisible at first, but over time, it becomes unstoppable. People often underestimate the cumulative power of small, consistent actions. It is not the occasional sprint that leads to success. It is the daily steps that eventually move mountains. Another key aspect of consistency is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and results. It is easy to want something. It is easy to dream. But consistent discipline transforms desires into reality. Showing up daily, staying committed, and doing the work, even when results are not immediately visible, cultivates inner strength and reliability. Every successful person you admire, whether in business, sports, or personal growth, relied on discipline and consistency to reach their level of achievement. Consistency also teaches resilience. Life will always test you with obstacles, distractions, and moments of doubt. It is easy to quit when things are difficult or when you feel like progress is too slow. But those who force themselves to be consistent learn to overcome challenges. They discover that persistence builds not only results but also character. The ability to keep going, no matter what, is what creates extraordinary outcomes. Finally, consistency creates trust. Trust in yourself and trust from others. When you consistently deliver, you prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving your goals. You also demonstrate reliability and integrity to the people around you. This trust opens doors, builds relationships, and attracts opportunities that would never appear to someone who acts sporadically or inconsistently. Understanding the power of consistency is the first step toward mastering your life. Success is not an accident. It is not about luck. It is the natural result of showing up every single day, putting in effort, and refusing to quit. Your dreams are waiting for you, but only consistent action can bring them to life. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Every day you persist is a day closer to your goals. Overcoming resistance and laziness. One of the biggest obstacles to consistency is resistance. Resistance shows up in the form of procrastination, excuses, distractions, or even self-doubt. It whispers in your mind, "I'll start tomorrow," "I'm too tired," or "it won't make a difference." Every time you give in to resistance, you delay your progress and weaken your momentum. Consistency requires that you face resistance head-on and continue taking action even when it feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. Laziness is not a permanent condition. It is a momentary state. Feeling unmotivated or distracted is normal, but it does not define your potential. The difference between successful people and everyone else is that they act despite these feelings. They show up every day, even when the energy is low, even when the results are invisible. This is the true test of consistency. Taking action when you don't feel like it, and trusting that effort compounds over time. One way to overcome resistance is to create a system that makes taking action inevitable. Set routines that are non-negotiable. Break your goals into small, manageable steps that are easy to start. Eliminate distractions that tempt you to procrastinate. The easier you make it to act, the less power resistance has over you. Consistency is not about perfection, it is about creating habits that sustain momentum regardless of your emotions. Discipline is the muscle you build when you push past resistance. Each time you force yourself to act, despite doubt or hesitation, you strengthen your mental resilience. Every moment you choose action over comfort, you reinforce your identity as someone who keeps their word to themselves. Over time, this discipline becomes second nature, and showing up consistently feels less like a struggle and more like a lifestyle. Another key to overcoming resistance is changing your mindset. Recognize that discomfort is part of growth. When you feel lazy or distracted, understand that these are signals from your mind trying to protect you from effort, not indicators of incapability. Embrace these moments as opportunities to strengthen your willpower. Each time you take action despite the inner resistance, you are teaching your mind and body to operate at a higher level. Consistency is not about never failing. It is about persistence in the face of setbacks. Everyone misses a day, everyone loses focus at times, and everyone feels tired or discouraged. The key is to return immediately to your actions without guilt or self-judgment. What matters is the overall trajectory, not isolated moments of weakness. Every day you recommit is a victory and reinforces the habit of persistence. Finally, remember that overcoming resistance builds momentum and confidence. Each step you take despite laziness or fear signals to yourself that you are capable. Your actions prove your strength before your results appear. With consistent effort, your energy rises, your focus sharpens, and your ability to handle bigger challenges grows. Resistance loses its power over time, and the habit of consistency becomes unstoppable. Consistency is not about waiting for motivation or inspiration. It is about choosing to act every day no matter how you feel. By forcing yourself to be consistent, you create a foundation for results, build discipline, and ultimately design the life you desire. The more you act, the stronger your momentum becomes, and the easier it is to achieve your goals. The compound effect of daily action. Consistency works like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, progress may seem slow, invisible, or even discouraging. One small action today might feel insignificant, and 1 hour of work may not seem like it will change anything. But when you take daily action, no matter how small, it compounds over time into remarkable results. This is the power of the compound effect, and it is the reason why forcing yourself to be consistent is so important. Every single action you take builds upon the previous one. Writing just a page a day eventually becomes a book. Exercising for 30 minutes daily eventually transforms your body and health. Saving or investing a small amount consistently grows into financial security over years. Skills develop slowly at first, but with repetition and persistence, they reach a level of mastery that seems effortless to outsiders. The key is to trust the process and remain patient. Success rarely comes overnight, but it always comes to those who persist. The problem is that most people quit too early. They expect immediate results and give up when nothing changes in a few days or weeks. This is where consistency separates the average from the extraordinary. Results are not instant, but the effort you put in today is never wasted. Each day you show up adds invisible value that eventually compounds into visible results. Even when it feels like you are making no progress, your efforts are stacking up in ways you cannot yet see. Consistency also strengthens your mindset and character. Showing up daily builds resilience, focus, and discipline. You begin to trust yourself and your ability to follow through. You develop patience, understanding that meaningful results take time to manifest. The process of repeated action teaches you that small, persistent steps are more powerful than occasional bursts of effort. It trains you to rely on your commitment rather than fleeting feelings of motivation. Another benefit of the compound effect is confidence. Each day you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Each day you persist, you reinforce the belief that you can achieve what you set out to do. That confidence becomes magnetic. Opportunities begin to appear, relationships strengthen, and new possibilities present themselves. People notice those who are reliable, disciplined, and consistent. That momentum attracts success in ways that cannot be forced. It is also important to recognize that consistency is not about perfection. You may miss a day, face setbacks, or make mistakes. What matters is your ability to return to the path immediately and continue the process. Each recommitment adds to your momentum and reinforces the habit of persistence. Success is not a single act, but a series of small deliberate actions repeated over time. Ultimately, forcing yourself to be consistent unlocks the compound effect. Small actions grow into mastery. Repeated effort transforms habits. Daily discipline builds momentum. Your results are not determined by random luck or occasional bursts of effort. They are determined by the steady, unwavering commitment to show up every day. Consistency creates unstoppable growth, and when you harness it, everything in your life begins to fall into place. Everything falls into place. When you force yourself to be consistent, something extraordinary begins to happen. Everything in your life starts to fall into place. At first, you may not notice immediate results. Progress may seem slow, and challenges may continue to appear. But consistency is a silent builder. It works behind the scenes, compounding effort, shaping habits, and creating momentum. Over time, the results become undeniable, and the life you desire begins to manifest naturally. Consistency transforms your actions into results, and your results into confidence. Every day that you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you are proving to yourself that you are capable, disciplined, and committed. This self-belief is magnetic. It changes the way you approach challenges, the way others perceive you, and the opportunities that come your way. People begin to trust you, respect your dedication, and support your vision, often without realizing why they are drawn to you. One of the most powerful aspects of consistency is that it removes chaos and unpredictability from your life. When you act sporadically or rely only on motivation, your outcomes are inconsistent and unreliable. But when you commit to consistent effort, your actions create structure, focus, and clarity. You start making better decisions, staying disciplined, and prioritizing what truly matters. Life becomes less about luck and more about predictable results because you are the driver, not a passenger. Consistency also allows you to harness momentum. At first, every step forward may feel small and slow. But as you build daily habits, momentum grows and the path becomes easier. The resistance you once felt begins to fade. What once seemed impossible starts to feel achievable. Opportunities appear that you would have missed if you had given up or waited for the perfect moment. Momentum attracts progress, and consistency is the engine behind it. It's important to understand that consistency is not about perfection. You may face setbacks, make mistakes, or have off days. What matters is your ability to return immediately to the path, recommit to your goals, and keep moving forward. Every time you pick yourself up and continue, you reinforce the habit of persistence. Your small, repeated actions accumulate, eventually creating results that far exceed what most people imagine possible. When you force yourself to be consistent, life aligns in unexpected ways. Your skills improve, your confidence grows, and doors open that were previously invisible. People begin to notice your dedication, your reliability, and your progress. Opportunities that once seemed distant start showing up naturally, and the results of your consistent effort compound. What once felt difficult or out of reach becomes attainable because you have trained yourself to persist without relying on motivation alone. In the end, everything falls into place not by chance but by design. The actions you take today, repeated day after day, create the life you desire tomorrow. Success is no longer a matter of luck or timing. It becomes the natural outcome of your persistence, your discipline, and your unwavering commitment. Force yourself to be consistent, and watch as your efforts multiply, your momentum grows, and your dreams transform into reality. The life you envision is waiting for you, and consistency is the bridge that will carry you there.